Welcome to the Ask Coach Mac podcast, where coaches from around the world get their strength and conditioning questions answered.
What's up, guys? Ron McKeefery here, and welcome to episode number 10 of Ask Coach Mac. Thank you so much for joining me today. We have a great question from Kevin. Before we get to that, I want to thank today's sponsor, Iron Grip. Iron Grip has been with me pretty much from the beginning. Every facility that I've had, I've put Iron Grip plates into, including my own garage. And can't say enough about their plates, dumbbells, and bars. I think their Olympic bar and their power bar, or their Olympic bar and their power bar, are two of the smoothest bars that I've experienced and worked with, and can't recommend them enough. Chris DeSanto is with them now, and if you know Chris, he's one of us, strength coach with multiple NFL programs, and doing a fantastic job there. Good friend of mine, a guy that I lean on in a lot of different ways, and can't say enough about him as a person, Iron Grip as a company, and their products. And so if you are in the market for bars, dumbbells, or plates, reach out to Chris, and he'll be sure to take care of you in a big, big way. To learn more, go to irongrip.com or follow them on Twitter @_grip or call 800-664-4766. All right, here's today's question from Kevin.
Hey, Coach Mac, I just had a couple quick questions. The first one was, is there anything you have implemented in the past calendar year into your programs that has worked well for you? And second is, any advice you would have for a new strength and conditioning coach? Thanks.
Kevin, great question. And, I actually had to go to my staff to answer this question. This year we've spent a lot of time trying to improve in a lot of different areas. And so I'll tell you, probably the answer is going to surprise you. We really didn't make a whole lot of changes from a strength and conditioning standpoint. As we're in year 3 of our program, we're really dialed into where we want to be in our progressions and just loading parameters and things along those lines from a strength and conditioning perspective with our program. Where we have made lots of progress is in our organizational skills and our implementation of our strength and conditioning program. We've implemented a lot of technology over the course of the last year. We used Excel training designs. We brought Steve Olson in. If you have not reached out and checked out what he's doing with Microsoft Excel, which has been the program that we've used for my entire career, and honestly thought that I was pretty good on Excel until I met Steve, where he made me feel like a moron in about a minute. And so we brought him in to really kind of redefine our template, our plan, and the way that we use Excel with our athletes. We also brought in Train Heroic. It's a software-based company based out in Colorado. And, we were searching for a way to be able to push workouts to our athletes that were not on campus for various different reasons, be it spring break, Christmas break, going home for the summer, or new recruits, new signees that were coming in. We really wanted to find a way to be able to communicate with them effectively, push their workouts, get feedback, and to have a platform to do that was very intuitive. And so if you've not checked out Train Heroic, I would reach out to them. Also, there's the fantastic entrepreneurial opportunity that honestly I have not taken full advantage of, but they have a marketplace of programs that you can create and put your programs out there. It's a 70-30 split, so 70% for you, 30% for them, and a great model there. And so for those entrepreneurs that are listening to this, I think that's a fantastic platform for that as well. And then I think where we probably spent the most time is both on our nutrition with our athletes, and then really changing the onus and the responsibility from being coach-led to player-led. With our athletes, we spend a lot of time, talking about, as strength coaches, we don't have the opportunity to cross the sideline on game days. We have to make an impact, and I think we do, but we have to make an impact from the sideline on game day. And as a former athlete, that is extremely hard for me to deal with. But as a mentor and a coach, it's one of those things that you're not going to find in a physiology textbook, but is in a critical and important role of a strength and conditioning coach. And so we do a lot of things to try to create this player-led environment. In the winter, we try to make it as coach-led as we can. We're trying to redefine who our leaders are. We meet with our seniors weekly to give them some direction and to find out and challenge them. Doing exercises like putting them into groups and having them accomplish tasks to see who the leaders are going to be. To speaking, leading stretch, all those types of things in front of the team, so they can start to define themselves as the leaders within the organization, within the program. And so, we start off with us kind of leading every aspect of the strength and conditioning program, and as we progress through the winter, we shift to where they're kind of leading their rack, leading their lifting group, and making sure that they take ownership of that. By the summer, our hope is that they are very player-led, and we can kind of shift everything to them as we and have them get up in front of the group and lead the team. So that way, when they're on the field, it's not foreign to them, or there's not the typical immaturity of, well, why is that guy the leader over me, or this, that, or the other. We've created an environment to do so, and I think as strength coaches, that's one of the biggest things that I think is one of the biggest challenges we have. Just getting people bigger, faster, stronger isn't our only job. I think the off season is the critical time period to build the team, and so making sure that we're reading leadership books, motivation books, finding different creative ways. From team building exercises and throwing them in front of the team, our leaders in front of the team, and identifying those leaders is where we've spent a lot of our time. Nutritionally, I think this is an area for us that we really needed to work on. We've brought in a nutritionist that we share time with the Detroit Lions with, and we've implemented a whole education structure of lectures, of materials. We're investing $80,000 into a renovated nutrition room that is right off of our weight room now, that is going to be a fantastic both tool for us from an implementation standpoint, but a recruiting tool as well, and really put a lot of emphasis on finding ways each and every week to challenge our athletes to the point to where now, when our athletes are weighing in, we have groups of players surrounding them, also feeling like they're obligated to those athletes making their weight, and to really taking a competitive approach to making sure that they're making strides towards their deal. As for young strength coaches, I think one thing that I haven't talked about on the show is just really perfecting your elevator pitch. Finding what makes you unique. If you come and you're a young strength coach and you sit down with me, oftentimes I'm going to ask you what separates you, what makes you unique, what is your unique selling proposition. I get hundreds and hundreds of resumes each and every week from perspective strength coaches, and if I ask them what makes them unique, a lot of times I'm going to get questions or answers like, I work hard, or the athletes like me, or I know this, and the reality is that as a strength coach, you're going to have to be well versed in all the different disciplines of strength and conditioning. Players are going to have to like you. They're going to want to work with you. Everyone works hard, or they're not going to be in this profession, and so finding ways to perfect your elevator pitch, that 5 minutes that you have to kind of display and convey your message and your uniqueness, I think is the number one thing as a young strength coach you should be working on. And so really looking into yourself, finding what your unique experiences are, how they would benefit your future athletes, the program that you work with, and then developing the skill sets that are going to complement strength coaches that are there. As a head strength coach, I'm hiring for my deficiencies, my weaknesses, and so an area like sports science, 20 years ago, sports science wasn't nearly what it is today when most of these young strength coaches are coming out of college. And so things like that are ways to kind of differentiate yourself in the mix. And so Kevin, I hope that answers your question. Would love to hear what everyone else thinks. Use the hashtag AskCoachMac10 to continue this discussion over on Twitter. I want to encourage everyone else that if you have a question that you would like potentially featured on the show, head over to AskCoachMac.com. There you can ask your question by hitting the record button at the bottom of the page. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. And here's a quote to finish the day by Dennis Waitley. Change the changeable, accept the unchangeable, and remove yourself from the unacceptable. Take care, guys. I will see you in the next episode of Ask Coach Mac. Bye for now.